They were still laughing when I picked up the pen. Crystal glasses, soft music, her friends pretending not to stare at me. She's too much woman for him. He's such a weak man. I heard it all. They didn't bother whispering. My wife sat across from me, legs crossed, face composed, that rehearsed concern in her eyes. "It's just honesty," she had said earlier that evening. "We deserve freedom." Freedom, such a beautiful word for betrayal. The paper lay between us on the dining table. Terms printed cleanly, agreements, boundaries, rules for an open marriage. Her idea, her condition for staying. I smiled. Not because I agreed, because I had already begun. The pen scratched against the paper. My signature looked steady, strong. Her friends exchanged satisfied glances. One of them, the loudest, the boldest, lifted her wine glass toward my wife. The ringleader. I noticed how she touched my wife's shoulder when she spoke, how my wife's laughter shifted around her. Subtle, intimate, charged. I stood. "I accept," I said quietly. "Weak men argue. I prefer silence." The idea hadn't come from nowhere. It never does. For months, she had been different. Not distant, strategic, phone tilted away from me. Smiles at notifications she didn't explain. Late girls' nights that returned her home smelling unfamiliar, not of perfume, but of confidence. One night I asked casually, "Are you happy?" She paused half a second too long. "I just feel restricted," she said. "You're safe." But safe can be suffocating. Safe. Translation, predictable. She began quoting articles about modern relationships, about growth, about breaking traditional constraints. The suggestion came gently. We could try an open marriage. No lies, no secrets. Just honesty. Honesty. The irony tasted metallic in my mouth. I didn't react. That unsettled her more than anger would have. I began observing. Her friends suddenly included someone new, a woman she spoke about often, admiringly. She's fearless. She lives without apology. She thinks marriage shouldn't cage people. I met her twice. Sharp eyes, calculated charm, the kind of person who enjoys destabilizing foundations. The ringleader, the one who called me weak when she thought I couldn't hear. My wife didn't realize something crucial. I don't fight what I don't understand. I study it. And once I signed those papers, the game changed. I did not confront her. I became better, calmer, more attentive. I told her she looked radiant when she dressed for her nights out. I asked about her friends. I listened. People reveal everything when they think they've won. I synced our shared tablet quietly. Messages surfaced, not explicit, just charged. Emotional intimacy disguised as empowerment. "You deserve more. He'll never understand you like I do." The ringleader's words. Slow poisoning. I checked timestamps, locations, patterns. The girls' nights were never random. Always the same apartment. Always the same evenings. I visited the building once. Neutral face. Quiet steps. I memorized the door. Then I waited. I didn't need rage. I needed timing. The open marriage agreement gave me access. Transparency. We had promised no secrets. So I told her one afternoon, I'd like to meet the people we're opening ourselves to. Her smile faltered. "Why?" "Because this is about honesty, isn't it?" She hesitated, then agreed. She believed I was adjusting, adapting. Weak men adapt to survive. I adapt to expose. The invitation came for the following night. Dinner. At the ringleader's apartment. All her friends would be there. They thought it would humiliate me. They thought I would sit politely while they dissected my masculinity. They didn't know I had already spoken to the building manager. Didn't know I had already seen enough. Didn't know I had knocked on that door the previous afternoon, and that the ringleader had answered alone. Surprised. Nervous. I told her quietly, "We should talk." She underestimated me. Most people do. When I visited her alone, I didn't accuse. I asked questions, calmly, about influence, about boundaries, about why my wife suddenly sounded like her. She smirked at first. Then I mentioned specific messages. Her expression shifted. Then I told her something she didn't expect. "I'm not here to stop you," I said. "I'm here to understand how deep this goes." Silence. People confess when they believe they're superior. She admitted it wasn't just emotional, that my wife had been exploring, that she needed liberation from me, from stability, from predictability. I nodded. I thanked her. And before leaving, I said, tomorrow night. I'll be there. When I arrived at the dinner, they were mid-laughter again, my wife glowing, the ringleader confident, until the door opened behind me. I stepped aside, and she walked in. Not the ringleader, her partner, the one she had conveniently never mentioned. A woman who had no idea about my wife. The room shifted. Air thickened. I placed printed messages on the table. Honesty, I said softly. For everyone. My wife's face drained of color. The ringleader stood abruptly. You had no right. No secrets, I reminded her. The other woman read the messages. Slowly, carefully. Her hands began to tremble. No one laughed now. My wife looked at me like she was seeing a stranger. You planned this? She whispered. Yes. Her voice cracked. Why would you humiliate me? Humiliate? Interesting choice of word. I met her eyes. You mistook silence for weakness. The ringleader tried to regain control. This isn't about him. This is about growth. I looked at her partner. Did growth include lying to you? The room fractured. Accusations erupted. Tears followed. My wife reached for me, not out of love, out of panic. Please, she said under her breath. We can fix this. I stepped back. I already did. The open marriage agreement was still in effect. But now everyone understood the cost of transparency. Control had shifted. Not through shouting, not through violence, through exposure. I picked up my coat. I accept the terms, I said quietly, but I won't be participating. Her friends avoided my eyes. The ringleader no longer looked fearless, and my wife, she ran out crying. The drive home was quiet, peaceful almost. I didn't feel victorious, just clear. Betrayal is rarely about desire. It's about ego, about testing how far someone can push before consequence arrives. She thought I would beg, compete, break. Instead, I documented, waited, and let truth dismantle the illusion she built. When I entered our house, it felt different, lighter. I removed my wedding ring and placed it on the counter. No anger, no speech, just finality. She wanted freedom. Now she has it. As for me, I learned something invaluable. Weak men react, strong men reveal, and once the truth is exposed, you never need to raise your voice again.